You probably know this feeling. You have built or found a great looking indicator and you are feeling very confident that you will actually be able to earn money with it. Only then to discover that it's virtually impossible for you to find out which settings to apply to the indicator for the asset you want to trade with. In this video, I will show you an easy but nonetheless scientifically correct way how you can find the best settings for any indicators that you have the source code for and basically become your own mini hedge fund or algo trader. Hi and welcome back to The Good, The Bad and The Bitcoin. A while ago I released a video about my KNN Pivot Nexus indicator, which I shared with you for free on TradingView, and you guys liked it a lot. A lot of you have asked how to find the perfect settings for different pairs and timeframes, so I thought it would be a good idea to do a video about the process of finding optimal settings. All you need for this is a halfway decent laptop or desktop PC and access to a large language model such as ChatGPT, Claude or Gemini. I've summarized everything I will show you in this video in a so-called markdown file, which is the preferred information type of large language models. The AI will then know what to do even if you do not have any experience with coding yourself. You will find a download link in the description and pinned comment of this video. This markdown file you can directly share with tools such as Claude, ChatGPT or Gemini, and the AI will then directly understand that you want to backtest indicators or trading strategies and optimize them on certain outcomes such as success rate, profit factor and so on. I personally use Claude Code for this type of work, but it should also translate well to other models. In this video, I want to optimize my KNN Nexus indicator for a scalping strategy on 5-minute euro-dollar candlestick charts. The goal is to optimize the setting in regards to the so-called hit rate or success rate. So how often in percent does the indicator correctly identify a pivot, a local high or low, which then led to a reversal. For each signal, we want to check if a reversal formed within 2 times the pivot length, because a price reversal after a pivot high within, let's say, 20 bars makes more sense for trading than within the next 200 bars. On top, we want to measure the likelihood of price hitting certain ATR thresholds such as 0.5, 1.0, 1.5 and 2.0, because this will give us practical information about potential take-profit zones. At the end of the video, I will share these settings with you so you can apply them directly to your own Euro-US dollar chart. So make sure you watch the video until the very end. The indicator itself I made available for free on TradingView, and you can find a link to it also in the pinned comment of this video. A quick word on success rate. I specifically choose to find the best settings for this in this video because I know that many beginner traders out there are always aiming for strategies that have high success rates. As much as I understand this, I would recommend optimizing for risk-adjusted returns such as expectancy and profit factor. Because a high success rate does not say anything if the risk side of things is not in tune. If you're correct 80% of the time, it is nice, but if one trade wipes out half of your account, a 80% success rate will not really help you. So after finding settings with good success rates, I recommend to optimize the settings you found towards, for example, expectancy again. In order to start backtesting and optimizing, we need data. You can, of course, download data directly from TradingView like this, or use ready-made APIs from free data providers such as Yfinance or Dukascopy. For this backtest, I'm going to use Dukascopy and I will download 5 years of 5-minute candlesticks. Depending on your internet connection, this should not take very long. After I finished downloading the 5 years or 370,019 raw bars of data and made sure that they only contain clean data, I want to split the data into a train set, a test set and a validation set. Wait, but why not just optimize it on the whole 5 years of data immediately? Well, here something comes into play, which is called the overfitting illusion. Eventually, you will find a setting for your strategy that performs super well on your dataset and achieves something like 97% accuracy. But once you start using it on live data, the accuracy suddenly sharply drops to something like 43%. This is because of a phenomenon called overfitting. The model learns the data too well. It memorizes noise and quirks specifically to the dataset rather than learning the underlying pattern. It's a bit like studying for an exam by memorizing the questions and answers from last year's test. You would ace a rerun of a test, but fail a new test on the same material because you learned the specific answers, not the concepts. In order to ensure that my optimal settings also translate to the real world, I am splitting my Euro-US dollar data into 3 datasets. 60% training set, where the model will find the best combinations from 1000 parameter combinations, a 20% test set, which will narrow things down to the best candidates, and a 20% validation set as the final proof, data the system has never seen before. Like this, I am able to quickly spot models that are likely not to perform in reality, like the one you can see here on the right, which showed a 95.8% success rate on the trained data, which then collapsed to only 44.7% on the validation data. A drop of 51.1%, a clear sign of overfitting, which would have gone unnoticed without the data split into trained, test, and validation. In comparison to this, you can see that the model on the left performed much better, only a drop of 8.1% from 77.2% hit rate on the test data, which is well within the acceptable range. Rule of thumb, anything larger than 15% difference between train and validation data is a strong warning sign of overfitting. Okay, now that we have learned how to avoid overfitting, we can actually start our backtest to see which of the 1000 parameter combinations is actually the best. We could, of course, do something like a brute force or grid search, which would just try out all possible combinations over the 16 parameters that can be tweaked. With 5 values per parameter and 16 parameters, that would be roughly 152 billion combinations. And with each trial taking around 2 to 5 seconds on an average CPU, it would take my PC around 14,462 years to complete the grid search. You will probably agree that this is not very practical. Instead, I will use something called a Bayesian search on the test data, which actually does exactly what we humans also do when we look at charts. Look for patterns in order to decide where to search next. It basically asks, given what I've seen so far, with which region of a search space is most likely to produce a high hit rate. With Bayesian search, we come to similar results as with grid search, but much faster. Finding the most promising parameter combinations took my PC around 3.5 hours instead of 14,500 years. The grid search, however, is also useful. I used it, for example, in stage 2, where I did a small exhaustive grid search around the top 10 configs from stage 1 to find the exact local optimum. That roughly took another 2.5 hours on my PC, which shows you how computational heavy a grid search can be. One thing I noticed during the training and testing is that the optimizer liked to rank models that had a very high success rate with very low signal count, like the one you can see on the left here. 81 signals over 1 year, all of them just identifying pivot lows, are not only untradeable, but are also statistically unreliable. The real winner was a model with over 1,800 signals on the validation data and a good directional balance. In the Markdown file, I added a section about this that instructs the AI you are using to have a minimum signal count of 100 that the model needs on validation data. Depending on the time frame you are analyzing, you might want to bump that further up to, for example, 500 or 1,000 signals. Alright, now we have already arrived at the final stage. Validation, the moment of truth. After our grid searched on the test data, which of our models is the most promising, all that is left to do is to see now how this model performs on the validation data, the data is never seen before. And the results are very promising. No significant drop of hit rate between train, test, and validation. A good balance of pivot high and pivot low signals. A great success rate accuracy of 77.8%. And also great results on how far the results actually move. 95% of the signals reverse to at least one ATR. Between 65 and 68.2% of the signals reverse all the way to up to 2.0 ATR. This could, for example, be directly translated into 3 different take profits you can play here. Take 1/3 profit at 1 ATR, 1/3 at 1.5 ATR, and 1/3 at 2 ATR. Now, I know you are waiting for the actual settings. Maybe pause the video and copy these into your 5-minute Euro-US dollar chart where you have applied the KNN Pivot Nexus indicator. However, before you go now and actually want to trade this, a couple of things I want to point out. As we are operating on a 5-minute chart, your take profit will often be something like 2 or 3 pips away, and factoring in slippage and commission, it is probably very hard to directly translate this into a manual trading strategy, as commission, spread and slippage tend to heavily eat into your profits. Also, please note that the integrated backtest in the indicator will probably give you different results as the methodology is different. Remember, we optimized for hit rate in this video and did not look, for example, into where to place a stop loss and what was hit first, stop loss or take profit. My goal with this video was to show you a way how you can rigorously backtest and optimize your own indicators in a way that a lot of hedge funds and quant traders also do. So you are able to stop guessing whether or not an indicator can actually make you money or not. Download the markdown file in the link and feed it into your large language model of choice. Then start the conversation with the prompt you'll find at the bottom of the markdown file. And just like this, you have done your first steps into becoming a trader that makes his or her decisions based on hard scientific facts and not educated guesses. If you have enjoyed this video and want me to continue to share free indicators and quant stuff, please leave me a like, a subscription and a small comment underneath the video. If you further want to support me, you can find my affiliate links for TradingView and other stuff in the description and pinned comment of this video. Your support is very much appreciated, and see you next time.